Hey all, are you aiming for roles like Fabric Data Engineer, Fabric Data Analyst, or a Data Architect? If you are preparing for interviews for these roles, then you definitely should not miss today's video. Today we are diving deep into data warehouses and SQL queries in a Fabric environment, which is a must-know topic when it comes to interviews for these roles. We'll show you exactly how businesses manage and analyze massive amounts of data. We'll walk you through building your own data warehouse and mastering the best practices for running SQL queries in Fabric to extract the data you need for reporting and analysis. Plus, we will cover how to organize your data into semantic models, making reporting easier and more efficient. But that's not all. If you're ready to take your skills to the next level and become a pro with top Microsoft Fabric tools, we have got something special for you. Join our free Azure Data Masterclass where we will guide you through everything from the fundamentals to advanced deployment strategies. This is your chance to gain hands-on experience with Azure Data, so don't miss out. Register now through the link given in the description. Also, we have taken this video from our Azure Data Job Oriented program, which has helped thousands of learners like Monica and Simran to land Azure data roles such as Data or Cloud Architect and Principal Data Architect. So let's get into the video.
Let's first of all look at creating a warehouse and look at how we could do structured query language based reporting queries on a warehouse. That's the starting point for any analysis or any analytics. Let's create the new workspace. I say data analysts, DWH workspace. Goes to trial and say, okay, please create my workspace. Here is the workspace. And now an item. Search that item on the top. What item? Warehouse. Click on that and say WH01. Demo. Create the warehouse. The warehouse is ready, right? Simple steps. Simple steps. So you can see that our empty warehouse is ready. Nothing in it, empty. No tables, nothing in it. Okay. Let's do something. When you look at SQL query, if you are working alone, then you could just do a SQL query, something like this. It will open the SQL editor for you. You could write your queries and run your queries. But when you work with a colleague, then you should do notebooks. Because we all know that a notebook is a way to collaborate. If I and my colleague are working together on a piece of SQL, which means we together are writing SQL queries. I will write few SQL queries, he will review, then he will write few SQL queries, I will review, or he would take my help in writing the SQL query, or we together are working as a peer programmers and we are writing complex SQL queries together. Then notebook is the right way. Notebook is collaboration. I can finish my work, save the notebook, run all the SQL cells and produce the output, save the notebook, and tell my colleague, please check the notebook. I finished my work. You can see the output also. I have written what I am doing as a markdown. You can read it if you don't want to read it. Don't ask me again and again. And you finish the work likewise. Write what you're doing as a markdown. Write your logic, run your logic, show me the output, save it. When I will come to the office, I will check it. So if you are working alone, then you can simply do SQL queries, something like this. You could say, here is my first SQL query. I want to create a table, dbo.dimension product. Product key is an integer, which is not null. Product alternate key is a varchar, null. Product name is varchar, not null. Category is varchar, null. List price decimal 5,2, null. Null is allowed. So you could simply run like this if you're working alone. But when you work together with your colleagues, right, then better option would be to say new SQL query in a notebook. It will open a collaborative environment. It will open an environment where you could first explain, you could now tell what are you doing. Okay, let me create tables required for the dimensions and fact, right? So I'm explaining what I'm doing. Okay, I'm writing what I'm doing. Okay, I'm writing what I'm doing. Then I will do that, in the sense create that. Okay, so just give me a second. Let me grab few more pieces of things, right? So I'm gonna grab for you one more table. So here you go. I'm creating another set of table. So here I create dimension customer table. Create the table dbo.dim customer, and a better option is that if it already exists, drop it. So I am writing that logic. If exists, select start from sys.sys objects where name is a dimension customer table. If it is there, drop it and then recreate my table. Let's do that. Or rather, just write it, don't do anything. Create all the tables. You're saying, let me create the tables required for dimensions and facts. So dim customer, let's do one more table. Create, and here I do the next table for you. Here we go. Dimension date. If it exists, drop it and then recreate it. We'll run it later. And let's do the next table, right? So let's do the next table out here. Okay. Fact sales order. So here is the table. If exists, select star from this, and create that table. So this is the thing. And now I could say, let me do that one also again, which is the product. So let me create the tables required for dimensions and fact. I will create 3 dimensions. I will create 3 dimensions and 1 fact table for star schema model. And you can see I'm explaining what I'm doing. I'm explaining what I'm doing. Okay. I can save it, right? Not a copy of, see, it is auto saved, by the way. If you observe, it is auto saved. It gets auto saved. There is no need for me to save it, but auto save is on. Okay. It gets auto saved. This is my work, right? My colleague's work is after this. He will come and insert the data into these tables. So I have explained what I am doing, right? I could write it against every cell. So I could say, this is, I will now create dim product. I will now create dim product. Okay. Mark down. I will now create dim customer. I will now create dim date. And now I will create fact sales orders. Perfect. I just explained what I did. I have written the code. And now I will run it and save it with the output. Run all of them. Commands executed, messages there. These are DDL statements, so there is no output, right? These are data definition languages, so they will never have any output. When we're going to do queries, the queries will also have output. Select a statement is called as a query, right? So these are DDL, so output is not there, but messages are there that these are successfully executed. So I'm going to save them, right? We're going to save them, right? So now once I save, my work is done. Right? So I would tell my colleague that, hey, I am giving you the access to my notebook. Okay, this is my notebook. You can see, let me rename it SQL for DWH, right? And we are working together. We are working together, right? So I'm going to go here and say, manage the permissions. add a link, right? And I'm going to search Julia within my organization. Here it is, Julia, right? And I'm going to say, Julia, you can edit and you can run, but you cannot share it with others. You can check my work and you can edit and run. I need your help. I need your help. Edit and run, right? Edit and run and apply. Julia will receive an email that your colleague has shared with you the notebook. Open it in the Fabric, work with him or her, complete the work together. Collaboration, which is not possible with Power BI desktop this way. Collaboration. Adam, the data scientist guy, gave the permissions to Julia to read, write, and execute this. So Julia gonna get the access to it. I'm not logging in with Julia's account, okay? I am not logging in with Julia's account because I understand you can connect the dots, right? Julia would just come to fabric.microsoft.com, log in with her account, and she will see this notebook in this workspace, and she'd be able to edit it, run it. So first of all, she will see what did I do. So I have told her what I am doing. She will see, oh, what is the output of this step output, and then she will get started further from there. As a data analyst working in Fabric, please understand no one expects you that you are working alone. It will very rarely happen. When we work in Fabric, we collaborate. A part of the work I will do, a part of the work my colleague will do. That's a benefit of working in Fabric. Then it is extremely important to write SQL in notebooks. You can write standalone also, right? You can go here and say, okay, I'm going to write standalone SQL queries, but generally they should be avoided, right? They are more like experimental query that you might be doing. And before you really put something in a notebook, you would like to do your rough work. You would like to do the work in rough. Okay. So that is the rough work is SQL query. You would write it, experiment, and you would say, okay, now this looks good. Let me keep it in the notebook, produce its output so that my colleagues can see I have completed the requirement that we had. I hope you can understand. Prefer to write in notebook because notebook means collaboration. I can tell what I am doing. I can run myself, produce its output, save it. My colleagues can look into it, edit it, ask me questions, and comments on top of it, ask me questions, and I can reply, which is very important when we work in Fabric. So I would give this user the permissions instead of Julia, right? So I'm going to go over here to the notebook and manage its permissions, remove Julia out, right? And go to the direct access, add a user. Let's add a direct access rather than sharing the link because Nikita does not have an email account. Okay. Edit, run. You cannot share it with others. You can notify the recipient by the email. I don't want to do that. Enter the name of the email address, Nikita underscore S, automatically picks it, grant the access to her. Wonderful. She cannot reshare it with others. I have not given her this permission. Okay, so this looks good to me. So let me grab another browser where we could say Nikita is trying to work from. Okay, so simple process, fabric.microsoft.com. She must have a Fabric license allocated to her from M365. In my tenant, it is auto configured that a free Fabric license will be auto allocated to anyone who is in your organization. And then she should have a trial capacity to work with. A Fabric license and a trial capacity. That would be sufficient. So bring Nikita over here. And here it is. And we need to see the workspaces. Now, that workspace of ours is not visible to her. You can see it's not visible to her, right? You can clearly observe that the workspace is not visible to her. So we need to give her the workspace permissions as a reader. That on the workspace, we want to invite you as a reader, but on this notebook, you can do whatever you wish to do according to the permissions we just gave you, which is edit and run. So let's invite her into the workspace. add a people, that is Nikita. Invite her just as a viewer. Added Nikita as a viewer. So now it should be, the workspace should be accessible to her. Data Analyst, TWH. All the things will be visible to her. But on this, she will be able to collaborate with me. So she can now proceed ahead. I have completed my work. I told you what I did. I have run everything, right? I have run the cells and I have run everything. I'm going home. You complete it, please, Nikita. Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks. Please go home, take rest. So this guy has finished all of this. See, this is the benefit. We have to work through notebooks. Please understand, right? So now she can go ahead. She can say, okay, I understood what you did. I can see your outputs. Thanks a lot. Please take rest, enjoy. I will work. I will finish up this work. Okay. Okay. So I would now carry out an heavy insert. So Nikita has to explain what she is doing. Okay. Nikita has to explain what she is doing. I will now insert all the required data into the tables so that we can learn collaboration, and fabric analytics. Wonderful. Collaboration, right? Please practice writing notebooks and collaborating using collaboration. Okay, collaborating through notebooks, because people would expect you know how to collaborate. Okay, so this is the thing. We'll run it later. We'll run the cell later. Okay, she should not run the entire cells, right? Okay, she should run only the cells that she is writing. Okay, next set of code, insert number 2. Let me grab the insert into dbo.dim customer. Please understand collaboration aspect. Why did I write a notebook? I could have run these queries in a simple Scratch SQL file. Okay, run a new SQL query, next set of query to insert the data about the customers. Right, so that is also done. Let's create one more. Insert into dbo.dim date. Okay, insert into dbo.dim date. Done. And insert into fact sales. Insert into fact sales. See, a lot of data it is. Okay, thousands of rows. Insert into fact sales. Insert another batch. Let's do it later. Let's do this much first. We'll insert next set of batches later into fact sales order. So this is the thing. She should explain each and every cell what she is doing. Now we'll insert into dim product. Now I will insert into that. So I'm not writing it. Okay, you can understand what is collaboration. A notebook is a combination of three things: markdown, the code, and the output of the code. Save it, share it with your colleague, ask him or her to complete it, review together, fight together, blame together, work together, produce the final output for the client. We do it, right? Sometimes we do blameful retrospective. Sometimes we do blameless retrospective. Generally, the culture is blame less. We don't blame people, you did this mistake, except if it is unprofessional, silly mistake, right? So we can now say, okay, run the cell. The cell is completed, it seems. Oh, data warehouse executes SQL error. The insert permission on external policy action, blah, 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 was denied on the object to this lady. Oh, do I need to give her the permissions even under that? See, they're saying that you may have to give her permissions even more than this. Okay. So this is all the code written by her, right? And she encountered a problem. I can see that. Okay. Even when I am at home, I can just see what she's doing if I want to review it. Okay. Oh, she got a error. So means she needs permission. Okay. So how can I give her the permission? So can you give the permission to her? Yes. So if you go to the DBO, you go here. Okay, you go here. You see that there is something called as DBO, there are tables, and then there is a security thing. And then there are things called as built-in DB roles, DB data writer. It seems I need to give her this permission first. DB data writer. So let's go here and I will give her the permission. SP underscore add role member. I want to add a member into a role via a stored procedure. SP add role member. Does it work in Fabric? It does not work in Fabric. Then does alter role work in Fabric? Alter role will work in Fabric. So these are the two ways how we give roles to others, right? SP add role member, but this will not work in Fabric. You can use this. So I think they're telling us here. Okay, alter role instead. So use alter role, which will work in Fabric. Alter role, add the member. So this is the syntax. Instead of this thing, let me close this tab. So instead of SP add role member, I would have to alter the role. Which role do you want to alter? Alter the role DB underscore data writer and add a member into the role. And who is the member? The member here is Nikita. Nikita underscore S at Azure Architect 8 gmail.on Microsoft.com. That's the person that I want to give a role to. Right. Let me try to give her the role. Add member this lady. Alter role, add member. Alter role, DB data writer. Add the member. Yep. Successful. I gave her the permission. Now she should not see the issues, right? She should be preferably be able to do the work, hopefully. We expect her to be now able to do it. Let me see if it happened or we get another set of error. Happened successfully. So she is now very happy. She will complete the work. I am looking at her work from home. What did she do? Right. You can see that she just completed this cell, was executed successfully by her. Right. I can see Nikita has completed this part. She is not yet done with this cell. Looks like she's writing the code, reviewing it out, and she's going to run it now. Done. Nikita is done here as well. I would be able to see that immediately that she completed. This is collaboration. Please understand, people or your colleagues in the Fabric environment would expect that you collaborate efficiently. If you are a peer reviewer, you may have to review from home, right? Just you'd have to see, okay, things are going fine and perfect. So let her complete all the things. Insert into dbo.dimdate. And I fixed the issue. I gave her the permissions. She encountered an issue I just saw, right? If I am just sitting home and looking at it, she may not even have to give an email or a phone that, hey, looks like you have not given me right access level. Oh, I'm really very sorry. Just added this thing. And here we proceed. And here we have added more data into fact sales order, and that would finish up the work from her side. Obviously, we just wrote 4 cells. In a real world setup, you would have to write 100 cells. Your colleagues would have to write 200 cells, right? So it would be an extensive work. But collaboration is very important. This feature is not there in your Power BI desktop, okay? Not even in your SQL Server Management Studio. See, Nikita has completed all of this work that I wanted her to do. And done. Nikita is over here at the moment. Her cursor is pointing here at the moment. Adam is also over here, right? Let's say Nikita goes over here. So Nikita is working here. This is collaboration. We can work together. She can edit this, I can edit this part. I hope you understood the collaboration aspect. And now you see that our tables are created and we have the 4 tables which are ready. Data has been inserted manually at the moment. You see, we have just done manual insert. How can we automate this? Various ways: pipeline, data flow gen 2, copy into statement. So this part is done. We created our tables and we inserted the data into our table, right? We just inserted our data into the tables, right? You can see that. We can automate this process. Pipeline, data flow gen 2, copy into statement. All those are the ways we could do that. So now what can we do? We can go ahead and we can put this inside a semantic model. We can go and we can do a semantic model on top of it. So if I go to the warehouse, this is my notebook. Let's go back to the warehouse. And on the top, you see the same option, semantic modeling, right? So here are the tables. I can put them in the default semantic model, or I can create a new semantic model from scratch. Let's create a new semantic model. Let's do a new semantic model. Okay, give this semantic model a name, my semantic model number 1 in this workspace, and I want these 4 tables in that. Please give me these 4 tables in my semantic model. So it's creating that. Please wait for the semantic model to be provisioned. Okay. Okay, ready. Wonderful. 3 dimensions, 1 fact. You know, we always keep the facts on the top like this. Oh, I'm sorry, the dimensions on the top like this. And then we keep the fact underneath them like this, and we connect the things together. So what will filter what? What will filter what? The customer key here will filter many customer keys over here. Customer key from here will filter many customer keys. 1, 2, many. Absolutely fine. Save. Single date key would filter many dates over here. Dates. But I don't see date in my table. Is it? Fact. Okay, let me see one thing. Did we do something wrong? Oh, sales. Here it is. Sales order date key. I'm sorry. Looks like my eyes are not working today. Sales order date key. So this date key would filter many over here. Save. Wonderful. That's also fine. Yeah, now it will look good. And this product key will filter many product keys over here. Perfect. Absolutely fine. Right? So table properties we can see. These all are direct link tables. And if you see these tables, right, auto aggregation is also gone, which it was unnecessarily aggregating keys, which is not doing anymore. You can create measures, calculation groups, and new tables if you wish to do so, right? It's ready. My model is ready. So I would like to now do a report on top of it. So the process is hardly changed. Your source has changed. Your source is a warehouse, a clean, structured warehouse, an analytical serving layer. Your source is a warehouse. You develop the warehouse using your SQL logic, right? And now you are doing a semantic model on top of it, and then you are developing your report. Let's test out whether the filters are working fine. Let's see if the filters are propagating. Okay, give me a table, please. I would like to see the filter propagation first. We always test the filter propagation. So I would like to please tell me the total quantity and break it down by the month it's propagating. So the filters between this and this are propagating. Okay, remove the month. Tell me by category. It's propagating. Filter between this table and this table are propagating. Tell me by country, region. Propagating. It's propagating. Tell me by city. Absolutely propagating. So filters are working absolutely wonderfully fine. Let's do some visualizations. Let's do a scatter. Let's compare. Let's try to understand if your quantity is increasing, right? Is your sales also increasing? And I would like to break it down by the years. Looks like the data is only of a single year. So break it down by the months. Break it down by the month. The data is very less, so we cannot figure out a nice regression line playing, but it's quite visible that if your quantity is increasing, your sales is also increasing. Your sales total, your revenue is also increasing. It says that if your quantity is increasing, your revenue is also increasing. It's not topping out, it's increasing. So we could say, show me a trend line. Show me a trend line. Here's the trend line. It says, yes, the relationship between your sales volume, your relationship between your sales volume and your revenue, which is total money earned through the sales, is positively increasing. Positively increasing. You could have a play axis also if you wish, but we don't have a lot of columns to play with, so that's fine. That's great. Let's do some cosmetics into it. General, let's do a title for this visualization. Correlation between quantity, and revenue. We generally compare revenue and profit with respect to discount, right? If you give a lot of discount, your revenue would increase, but your profit would start decreasing. So we want to figure out the right level of discount, right? You see, we did it in the previous Power BI desktop. Here we don't have that column calculated profit. Okay. I would put here revenue, here I would put profit, and then have a tooltip of discount, and then see that if the discount increases too much, the revenue would increase, but the profit would start tapering out, even start decreasing. If you give 100% discount, your revenue would be great, but profit would be zero. Okay. Or rather, you would be negative. Okay. So you cannot give higher discounts. Healthy discount was anything up to 11%. Beyond 11%, it started to taper off the profit. So that's the work of this scatter plot. You could do more. So this is one visualization that I can think of, right? Let's do some more visualizations. Please break down my total quantity sold by the months. Looks something like this. Okay, let's be happy with this. Save this report as my report in my workspace. Save. So the report is also done.
Alright, that wraps up today's video. By now, you should have a better understanding of how to build your own Fabric data warehouse, run SQL queries, and organize data in semantic models for efficient reporting. So I hope this has given you the clarity you need to handle your data with confidence. And if you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest tutorials and insights. Also, if you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you're truly committed to master SQL and data warehousing in Fabric environment, be sure to join our free Azure Data Masterclass that I mentioned earlier. The link is in the description below, and we'll guide you through the steps to excel in your career, from cracking interviews to building an impressive portfolio. So thanks for watching, and definitely check out our previous videos here.